Welcome back to the One More K podcast, your number one show in Asia, trail running and anything business. Episode number 20, which is exciting for us. I have a special episode for you guys in store. We have a returning guest, Ewegene Tan. Good morning, Ewegene.
Hi, Markus. Hi, Nat.
And
Good to see you guys again.
Of course, Ned. Episode 20. How many podcasts make it to episode 20? What was the stat again?
Well, I'm so glad you asked me because you knew I was going to say it. Anyway, first of all, good morning, Ewegene. Good afternoon, Markus in San Francisco. And I am in New York. So it is truly a global show, even though we focus on Asia. They say less than 10% make it to episode 20. So they say most, so half don't make it to episode 8 and 10% don't make it past episode 20. So we're in the top 10%, man. We're moving through the field. We are moving steadily through the field. We're coming at them.
I'm not going to lie. It did help me quite a bit to focus. Having these milestones, just like running, having a checkpoint ahead. You're like, all right, checkpoint, episode 20. We got to get there. Ned, what's my next checkpoint? What's the next milestone we have to achieve in our world of One More K?
Let's just put it all the way out there. Episode 100, man. It's the big scary one, right? Episode 100. That might be a long way off. But I tell you what, I'll think of something for next week's show. I'll think of some random goals to keep us focused.
This was an easy jog. Episode 20. Now we're going for the 100K. Anyway, we have an exciting show for you guys today, whatever time zone you're choosing. Ewegene has already given us a little teaser on his episode the last time that he was saying there's going to be some big news coming. So we thought, all right, the big news are out of the bag. Let's jump right into it, Ewegene. You have been working on this very hard. We are glad to have you on the show to share the news. So I know it's already official, but we want to hear it from your mouth directly. What's been going on?
So, as you guys know, we accepted the contract and we are currently part of the Ironman Group as well. Being able to bring the UTMB World Series to Malaysia and join the party, as you can see.
You are a very humble and solid trail runner right now. We need to get more excitement out of this. So that means that your company, MMTF Consultant, has joined Ironman Group.
It's actually Ironman Group has actually acquisited the race only, while I'm still running MMTF Consultant on the back end of it all. So it's totally a separate issue. Yeah.
Ewegene, first of all, I hate to say first as business people because I think we're first all trail runners. I'm a startup. I'm a guy who tried to build a business and it didn't work. I've been through the journey of how hard it is. So for you to have built a business and sold it, massive congrats, dude. Honestly, like whether it's in running,
thank you,
whether it's in running technology, it doesn't matter. Markus has also built businesses. He's invested in a business. I think between us all, just first and foremost, man, congrats, dude, because that's no joke. That is no joke.
Now, basically, it was not an easy process. I've failed in life before. I've failed in business before. So I always believe if you keep going, then you'll learn something out from it, hopefully, and try not to make a repeating mistake. Initially, in 2021, after organizing the first mass participation race here in Malaysia, post-pandemic, we actually make our intentions known to the UTMB Group, directed to the UTMB Asia team, and thereafter we started talking to Ironman because there are some countries around the region where Ironman has got the complete jurisdiction. So for the whole of Asia Pacific, it is actually Ironman under Ironman except for China. So we went through a 2.5 years auditing process. Painful testing to some extent, and we're happy to roll it all in at the end of the day.
Amazing. Congratulations. That means that the Malaysia Mountain MMTF is now MMTF by UTMB.
Yes. So we actually rebranded it to, as we believe that it best represents the country's participation. Hence, now it is also known as Malaysia Ultra Trail by UTMB.
Hey, MUT by UTMB. Look at this. You guys are thinking about it.
So basically, I mean, for me, yes, I've gone a full loop. How did I started this organization of race journey? Actually, in the year 2015, when I was at the North Face Australia, the North Face 100 Australia, an announcement was made by the then race director that it will be the last edition of the North Face 100 Australia. And the following year, they're going to rebrand it to Australia Ultra Trail Festival. So something ping in the head, and I was thinking, hey, why not Malaysia Ultra Trail Festival? And we got to know that we are not able to use that name when we got back home, owing to the fact that the first edition was only 70 km. And for it to be an ultra trail, as per UTMB guidelines, it has to be 100k and above. So we built the race along the way, and from then onwards, being able to work closely with people behind UTA now to bring Malaysia Ultra Trail by UTMB into realization. I mean, I've gone a full loop indeed. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, as Ned said, we're all entrepreneurs and we cover business here.
Yeah.
So I'm actually very happy that we cover an exit when someone is selling a company, in this case, a race, to someone else. And I hope we're going to see more of these events in this industry where, things are happening. And I am very happy for you that, what happened. And looking at your Facebook post, the first thing you said, look at mom and dad, I made it. And I was really touched by that first sentence that you addressed it to your mom and your dad.
So basically, dad could never understand why was I running so much. We are doing it out of passion, and for the old people, for them, you need to work hard. You need to work behind the desk to earn those money, And, as ultra runners, we go out there training, and dad was asking, you're already 40 years old. What are you trying to prove, And why are you buying so much shoes, we are going into that zone whereby we are only training, buying shoes, buying nutritions, and trying to gain as much experience as we can have. Right before he passed, mom told me that actually dad told me that he understands what you are doing now. So when I started the process, it was very much being shared with mom as well. So there was a good and bad out of it all, whereby at the end of the day, when I signed the documents, there was tears as well. It was tears of joy, of course, but then at the same time, in remembrance of mom as well, who has been very supportive from day one through it all.
Again, I saw that post, and we're an Asian show, right? The reality is, I've lived in Asia for 30 years. Most kids in Asia are told by their parents to get respectable jobs, to not do this other crazy stuff, right? Like it takes a lot. I think perhaps people maybe listening to this, in the West, it's like, oh, don't worry, try anything. But in Asia, it is a very different thing, right? It really is. You must get the right job. You must follow the right path. And, ultra running isn't the right path, right? Technically. And I'm sure your parents went through that up and down. And because I was going to ask you, Ewegene, how did it feel when you literally signed it? Like, can you describe? Was it like crossing a finish line, or how did it feel?
No, just let me bring you guys to what Markus said earlier. So basically, we are all businessmen. Money are important to keep the business rolling. But then I'm taking this decision not based on financial gain per se. If you are talking about financial gains, I would not have done it. Why? Because after 5 years of knocking on the ministry's door here in Malaysia, we have finally got recognized by the tourism ministry, by the sports ministry, and we are getting financial assistance, don't get me wrong. Hence, if it's got to do with money, I would not have done it. For me, it is to bring recognitions to Malaysia Ultra Trail scene. That's the first. Most importantly, I see the event being able to grow further with this acquisition. In doing so, I believe that the impact to the community will be huge. And MMTF is, from the very beginning, has never been about me. It's always about the community. It's a reason why we drive it forward, and it's the runners that drive it forward as well. We have got the runners, which is the community. We have got the sponsors. We've got people like Markus in 2021 coming in to support us as well. So everyone plays a role. And as I signed the document the other day, I've got a lot of flashback, 2018, who was in the race. And when runners came and congratulate me, at the end of the day, I started recalling each and every one of them at that specific moment, because I'm someone with photostated memory. So it's a beautiful experience. And frankly speaking, we are at the starting line now. We are really at the starting line now. All through these years, the last 6 years, is getting from, building our time on the feet, getting to know the sports that we are in, how to host runners. And I truly believe that we are at the starting line. And together with the Ironman Group, I believe the event will grow further. And certainly we'll be able to give everyone a bigger party. And it's like a big trail running circus coming to town now. So yeah, I'm quite happy.
I can imagine that. Yeah. The event is coming up later this year. What is going to stay the same, and what's going to change now that given it's UTMB race?
I would still want the owners to maintain to the core reason why we existed, and that is to give back to the community. For that reason, Ironman Group, they actually agreed to a substantial reduction in registration fees for past participants. We call it the loyalty program. So if anyone is a past participant from 2018 to 2023, you would have received an email by now offering you a chance to be part of the 2024 edition. And with that, a substantial reduction of price in terms of registration. For example, the 100 kilometer, or is known as MY 100 now. The price in tier 2, that means in normal rate, it will be 800 ringgit. If you are past participants, you get to enjoy a reduction to 675 ringgit. So that is a massive reduction of 125 ringgit. Previously, without UTMB, we are already selling each slots at 500 to 650. You can see that we are trying to give the past runners some benefit out from it, and in that way contributing back to the community as well. In terms of difference, I would say that now the budget to organize this race will never be below 1M anymore. It will be more than 1M. It will be in the region of 2 to 3M. That is what I can reassure you, because this is part of the budget discussion that we have had with the Ironman Group. Better party, better entitlements for runners, and this is what we are always looking at for that race experience, right?
And what does, and look, it's great. I mean, Ewegene, you say it every time, it's for the community. Look, clearly, I know we've not met in real life. We've chatted online, but you're clearly a humble, good dude. I think most trail runners are, so that's good to see. But so I think it's always clear you've been just passionate about Malaysian trail running. It's awesome. What does Ironman want to get out from it? So did you get a good feeling of what was, and we use Ironman UTMB as one group. I don't know if you think of them as one group, but what do they want to get out of this acquisition?
No, let's be frank. At the end of the day, this is business, and being the number one sports management company in the world, profit is very important. As in every business, profit is very important. It keeps the business sustainable. Without profit, what is going to happen is that the investors has got to dig deep into their pockets. Frankly speaking, from the day MMTF was organized till 2023, I've not put any money in my pocket. It's always about reinvesting. And this is how one can actually grow the business out of nothing. If you're going to put it in your pocket, you're not going to have funds to further improvise the whole scene. And this is what I've personally committed. I was committed to this since 2018, 2019. And from then onwards, we keep reinvesting what we gain over the years. It's a painful process. To some extent, it challenged me to the core of everything. some people have seen me shed tears as well, but then it makes the victory worthwhile at the end of the day. So I mean, what does Ironman wants to get out from it? So basically, speaking about what does Ironman wants to gain out from this at the end of the day? I mean, as in every business, everyone's looking towards profitability, and profit is what keeps an event or the business sustainable. What I'm happy about at the end of the day is the fact that Ironman has made a request that we maintain the core organizing team moving forward. And Ironman will come in with the expertise with their members to not only learn about trail running, but also to bring this event to the next level. So yeah, everyone can expect further growth of this event towards the future.
You have to be profitable. I know the reality. I ran a business that wasn't profitable and it didn't work, right? It has to work. And I think I heard you say they're keeping the same people. I'm interested in that as well, right? What about you, Eugene? You were running your own business, completely you. Is what maybe you can't say entirely. I have two questions. How do you feel about having a boss, if that's the right word? I don't know if that's the right word. And how does your team feel about this new world in which you find yourself?
First and foremost, I'm where I am today, and at the same time, the event is where it is today, not because of me alone, because this event is much more bigger than any single one individual, even before we are accepted into the World Series. Basically, it's a team effort. That's what I want to put through, and I'm just a facilitator towards everything. I mean, at the end of it all, the team is of course happy, proud. They are walking with pride at the moment, and it's a nice thing to see, and you can see more smiles these days. You can see people are walking with less stress as well, me included. And it's not the financial part. It's not the financial gain part. It's the fact that you know that your baby is going to be on someone's good hand. Joined Ironman in the Zaru 70.3 just a fortnight ago. Getting to know the team, getting to know the core people, and yeah, I am able to be relaxed knowing that we're going to be part of a very good team soon. I mean, in totality.
What did the community say? Like, what did you hear from the runners, from other event organizers? What's like the gossip on the street, if you can say that?
We have got organizers who have come forward, extending their assistance or offering their help for the upcoming edition. Of course, haters, friends. It seems everyone is coming together at this point, and I'm quite happy because we're getting some unexpected calls from unexpected individuals. So it goes to a point to show that trail running actually brings everyone together in good or bad way. I mean, for me, I'm always looking at things from a positive angle because no point harping on the negative side of things. So Ned was asking me, how is it to be reporting to someone now? I think the white culture, when we work, uh, the culture is open. If I were to refer someone as a boss and he has got a fence in front of him, a wall in front of him, that like globalization is only US, for example, or globalization is only Europe, for example, I stop talking because then it makes no sense. In this case, through the past 2.5 years, we have gone into hundreds of discussions before the takeover materializes, and I can happily say they are willing to listen. There's one. And now it's no longer the fact that whatever I say goes, because I can never be right the whole time. The most importantly is I'm able to learn what global sports marketing is all about, what global sports management is all about, because now I'm directly in it. and I see how the big boys are doing it in terms of marketing, in terms of project planning, because it is all happening, and it's such an interesting process, why do we want to put our heads out there for runners or for athletes? If one would like to be a successful organizer, I would say one would need to appreciate the sacrifice that is put through by each and every athlete to actually attend a race, from point of saving money. If you are in Europe coming to Asia for a race, then you say that it's cheap. But then for people in the mountains, like in Sabah and Sarawak here in Malaysia, some would need to save 4, 5, 6 months just to attend a race. So if you understand this process with the sacrifice of families who supported them and would like to see them be happy in crossing the finishing line, you would want to give them a good experience. And this is where we are coming from.
I love that part. I mean, Ironman, of course, they take a bit of shit every now and then. That's fair. It's not fair that they take it, but it's a fair statement that they do take some crap. But every person, we've spoken to a few different people in Ironman, right? We spoke to Florian. Interestingly, one of the people from UTMB called me and Markus to have a chat to get our sense of the brand. I've listened to Paul Huddle. I listened to Carl Meltzer, who was the first guy to sell his race to UTMB. And overwhelmingly, what everyone says is, it's full of good people. And it's full of good people who built a killer brand, who built a killer product, who did a good job. Sure, have they made some missteps? Yes. But overwhelmingly, people are like, these guys have defined trail running. Like they just have, like it or not, they've defined trail running. And you're right, for you, even though you are a humble dude, Eugene, you're right. You're going to get to sit at the table with the best people at organizing our sport. They just are. I mean, no matter what. And it's quite a privilege.
Over the past So over the past 2.5 years, what has actually happened is that we have shared a lot of things. I mean, if it's just for the money per se, they would just drop the money, I will accept it, and from then onwards, the deal will go through. In this case, there's a lot of process on their part wanting to ensure that the event is sustainable, and on my end is about trying to strike a balance in terms of the growth of the event towards the future, and also in ensuring that we still maintain the core values that we have. For example, the community initiative that we executed all this while as well. So to have them coming in to support it and to walk this together now, it's a good feeling. And I've been with them for one race now, and we have started event planning for the past 1.5, 2 months now. I can say it's not about money, it's about lots of money to be invested before anything is gained out from it.
This event, MUT by UTMB, is happening November, right? What are the dates?
Yeah. The dates will be 15th to 17th of November. So the VK will start on the 15th, which will kick off the party. And then the 100K, the 50K, and the 25K will be on the Saturday, 16th. And then the final race will be the 13 kilometer happening on the 17th. Okay. So there will be a new venue, which I would like to inform everyone. It's no longer going to be at Esplanade. In order for us to ensure a bigger, proper planning of this so-called trail running circus coming to town, we are reshuffling things. And of course, runners will be able to see a much more hyped up aid station with all the props, which you will hardly see in races in Asia because of cost reasoning.
Wow, exciting. This weekend is also something happening. You have another race coming up in a beautiful island, and anyone watching YouTube can already see the palm trees behind you. Where are you right now? What's happening this weekend, Eugene?
So basically, I'm currently in Tioman together with my team. We are going to be here for another week to execute Kailas Tioman Ultra. So Tioman Ultra is the second Lose Your Mind, Discover Your Soul project. Lose Your Mind, Discover Your Soul runners are being taken to an exotic location like Tioman and being provided with challenge that would let them lose their mind and discover their soul. For us, this is actually an initiative. For the community. So what initiative that we are talking about? We would like to create a permanent trail here in Tioman, where locals can actually use them to get additional income, especially during the monsoon season when all activities in the sea are stopped. That's the first one. Secondly is to create a permanent track that will allow animals as well as humans to coexist with one another. Which is, of course, finally, we know that a race like this will be able to contribute back to the community financially. If you were to come to the island this weekend, you are not able to get a place to stay. Not even a single hole, because everything has been booked up. Because we are bringing in around 400 over athletes to Tioman this round. Excited. It's the second edition though, and it's going to be the first time that Tioman will host an international race, because this is an Asia Trail Master Championship Series race as well this year, and we do it in the right way. We were candidate race last year. It's not because of the relationship between Chris and I. We were candidate race last year. We passed it, and now we are a full-blown Asia Trail Master Championship Series race. So it's quite exciting for the guys, I would say.
You're putting Malaysia on the map, Ewegene.
No. We have got Hauha coming, so that is an exciting news. I would want her to beat the guys, and I want more girls to be in the trail running scene, because girls strong is the new beautiful, you know.
That is good, man. That is good. Talking about great athletes coming, so Hauha, clearly one of the great athletes coming out of Asia.
Yeah.
With MUT or Malaysia Ultra Trail being part of UTMB now and Ironman, do you think we will see more of the European, American athletes coming to the race? Is that part of what Ironman brings? Do they encourage that or not?
Yes. So basically at Ironman, they do have elite program as well. For me, it works hand in hand with what we are doing all this while. You guys remember in 2022, we actually brought in Paul Capel, the 2019 UTMB World Champion, to Taiping. He was supposed to run the 50K, but then the race on that year was postponed by a week owing to a last-minute call for general election in Malaysia. So he came in nonetheless, and we hosted runners to a simulation run. From then onwards, of course, we have got runners like Christian Jorgensen, which most of the Southeast Asia region organizer would know. Basically, there's a program that, and we know that there are some runners that is coming already from Hoka, from Japan, from China, and of course, we are working with Sunto as well now to also bring in some of the athletes from Europe down to our shore.
I tell you what,
for me, it's an exciting. For me, it's exciting not for me personally, but then I believe it is for the runners as well. Having these runners would, of course, enhance viewership. But then for me, it's not about viewership per se. When one is able at the grassroots level is able to race with these elites, there are great experience to be gained from it, and this is what we are going for.
Love the energy, just comparing you from last time where I think you were very busy now to this recording. You are all out. I love the confidence. I love the energy. You see this new Ewegene who popped out of the egg and is just gone all out now with this Ironman partnership.
So
it's amazing.
It's all due to the fact that I've been traveling for 3.5 weeks now. I've been not on my bed for the last 3.5 weeks now. I've been spending lots of time in the trails in Langkawi, as I'm hired to set up the trails or to design the course for a reality show for Channel 4 in UK.
Eugene!
And of course, spending a great...
Look, this is too much fun. Eugene just casually mentions that he's doing a reality show for Channel 4. We've got a bona fide superstar on our show now.
No, I won't be on the screen. I'm just the man behind the scene, setting everything up with the team that we have. Yeah.
What's happening? Like Channel 4 is doing a trail running live show.
So basically, So there's a reality show in UK called Tempting Fortunes. For the 2024 edition, which is in the second season. The first season is in South Africa. The second season will actually be in Langkawi, Malaysia. So 8,000 so-called cast actually aim for the 12 slots. So they went through interviews in UK. Out of 8,000, 12 will be selected, provided with 300,000 pounds to spend. And from then onwards, I'm supposed to create a route to challenge them to their core. If they were to spend the money along the way, what is going to happen is that they will lose it from the pool, and whatever money that they do not spend, it will be shared
Eugene,
among 12 people equally.
I watched it,
Yeah.
Eugene. I
So this will
watched
be
this.
out.
Eugene, I watched it on Channel 4. I watched it. So
Yeah.
I hate to tell viewers, but I love reality. I watch all crap. Reality in general is pretty crap.
Me
I love
too.
it. I watch everything from Survivor to The Bachelorette to The Apprentice. Don't judge me. I just like it. And I turned on Tempting Fortune and I was like, what's this? And look, it's a combination of, I'm going to be honest, it's a combination of, some of the silliest bits of reality, just, TV stuff with some, actual hard stuff that they have to do. Oh my God, that's so cool, dude. Because I watched the first show and I watched it all and it was fun because they're not real endurance athletes. They're
Yep.
normal people. And then they
Yep.
get offered
Yep.
like temptations to, hey, have a bed for the night instead of sleeping on the ground. And some people waste money to have a bed or eat some food. It's really cool. I liked it. I watched it all. That's amazing.
And to see how they are going to build all these sets on ground, in the rainforest, for example.
The sets are big,
Man,
man.
I'm just excited for July now. Yeah.
Eugene, as I'm sure you know, the sets are serious stuff, man. These are not little props. Like they set up like little
Yep.
hotels or little restaurants in the middle of the jungle to tempt them. Like it's
Yes.
cool.
So basically, in 2 years' time, Eugene, we're going to see you selling your company.
No, for me, it's just sharing the rainforest with the world out there. As you know, we have got one of the oldest rainforests. And as it is, those who are running the Malaysia Ultra Trail, you will get to experience the Virgin Jungle Reserve, which is the selling point of the race. It's going to be the only race in the UTMB World Series that is in the Virgin Jungle Reserve.
Wow. This conversation took a funny twist from trail running to reality TV. And now I learned about Ned's passion for reality TV. That is news. We should cover this in a drop net at some point. How we
I would like to be in that as well.
Anyway, Eugene, thank you so much.
Just want to say thank you guys for everything. Thank you for sharing the news. I know in many ways you guys are walking with me in your own rights as well. Everyone does. I look forward to having everyone in Taiping and the year-end trail party of the year in Taiping. And I hope to see you guys. Yeah.
Well, let's do it. Stay on for the next 15 minutes, Eugene. We're going to cover a bit of news and I'm going to do my drop at the end. But again, congrats. Honestly, just as good job on selling the business. Good job on doing it. And honestly, Malaysia's lucky to have you, man. You're doing a good job for Malaysia. So good on you.
So before I were to let you guys continue, basically, I'm part of the Ironman group now. And I'm also the technical trail running specialist for the whole of Asia, except for China. So we are looking into bringing the UTMB World Series into other countries in Southeast Asia, or shall I say in the whole of Asia region as well. It's a long process. It's not going to be easy, but then for me, it's an interesting period because I'm able to learn much more, and I hope to gain the experience with everyone as well. Thank you.
I always love how you leave us with a little teaser. So hey guys, we're doing something more is happening. Just another show. Yeah, I see your strategy, Eugene. You want to come back on the show? Sure, we would love you to go back whenever you have new news coming.
It's not that.
No, I'm excited. I'm sure this is just the first step, and there's going to be more coming.
Okay, I'll see you guys again in Taiping soon. Yeah, surely.
Thanks, Eugene. Thanks for being here on the
Yeah,
Paddle
you
Joe.
take care.
Please stay for the rest of the segment.
Yeah.
We have, of course, a few more news.
Okay.
As usual, we're staying in
Yep.
Malaysia because we have another good friend doing something extraordinary for this month of May and June. Ned, what's going on with Natalie?
Well, Natalie is running 1,000 kilometers in 12 days. Natalie Dow is one of probably the most iconic, although she is the top kind of female amateur ultra runner in Asia. Australian lady, lives in Singapore. She is running 1,000 kilometers from Thailand to Singapore, the whole east coast of Malaysia. She's running 2 marathons a day on the road, not on the trail. She is on day 5 now, I believe. She has pretty big support. She's doing Natalie, she's cracked. She's known as Rockstar Arms. She has been a kind of fitness influencer before it was really a thing. She has over like 500,000 followers, and she's raising money for something called Girls, which is helping girls in countries to basically improve their lives via sport. And yeah, so she's doing 85K a day, every day on the Malaysian roads. And Eugene, while it's a lot of fun running on Malaysian trails, running on Malaysian roads with the traffic, not always the most fun.
If anyone could share me her schedule, I would love to host her when she's passing through Taiping, which I'm sure she would.
We will send it to you. We will send it to you. But yep, and also in Malaysia, this quirky race, I can't remember if you were a fan of it or not. I don't think you were. The 444-kilometer run across Malaysia just started. The coast to coast just started. I looked at the live video. I was going to do it last year, but only 2 of us wanted to do it, so I just didn't want to do a race with 2. This year, I think I saw 6 people take off. This is a very niche race, running 440K on the roads of Malaysia across, 6 people only. Let's see. I think they're on day 1 today, but a bit of an epic across Malaysia.
I believe it's a good
Kali
activity.
Exactly.
Covering from west to east of Malaysia. Yeah.
Well, now moving a bit into a different continent, we have to cover, of course, Zegema, where the hero of these days, trail running universe, Kilian, did something amazing again and again and again and again. So for the introduction, I thought, let's just watch him running up the hill, because I found this just a very beautiful clip where he was really going crazy. That's one of the videos. I think there's been more videos. That's one of the videos. I think there's been more videos shared. Ned, what was your impression of Kilian winning Zegema the 11th time?
I mean, clearly he's the GOAT, but not just that. This was another piece, a bit like Courtney at UTMB, with the crazy Tour de France style crowds right at the top, in the fog, in the mist. The crowds were all over him. They were 3 deep, lining the trail on this rocky technical. Kilian bouncing up the trail that looked super steep. There were people with masks on and craziness. And he, as he was going up, was pushing his arms in the air. He was cheering them. They were cheering him. It was this iconic moment that, I'm not going to say a sport that Kilian built. He didn't build this sport, but he helped build this sport. It is, I don't know if this is his last, but this is his 11th win. And it was amazing. Like this, obviously he won. Go to Instagram, watch him running uphill. Amazing. Watch him run downhill. It was out of control watching this dude. It was amazing to see. But these crowds are amazing. And, he helped to build those crowds. Let's face it. He helped to build those crowds. That's what really struck with me. Zegema was massive.
Kudos to him, and kudos to everyone finishing. There were other people also running it. Great event. I would love to see something similar like this in Asia. I haven't really seen that vibe yet here. Maybe Malaysia is soon having such crowds, cheering up people across the mountains.
I think it's going to be super hard to get it in Asia because we don't have the history in the same way. And also, it is, and I think, I used to cycle. The nature of it, that Tour de France nature, where you cram the roads, you lean in. I think that is a very European thing. We don't see that at Western states. We don't see that at a lot of other races. It's a uniquely European, France, Spain, Italy, where the great cycle races are. I think, but it was amazing to see. And hey, in this world of social media, it's so cool. Like, I loved what I showed it to somebody who wasn't a runner, and we were just talking about running, and like trying to explain to them how popular running is. And I was like, just watch this. This is the top of a hill. People walked up to do this. And they were like, who? What? Like, what? They walked up there? And you know what they asked me? They said, do you need tickets for this? I'm like, oh my God, imagine, Eugene, if you need to make more money for Ironman, you sell tickets to the side of the trail at the top of the mountains in Malaysia. I don't know if we're there yet, but
Let's try this.
let's try it, man. Make some more money. But yeah.
What stuck with me too was the power of branding, how Kilian positioned his outdoor gear brand New Normal everywhere. And I think that was very smart. The colors, the branding was right up there. And I think he's teamed up with some very good business people and marketing people to position his brand all across his success. I also found that very striking, how New Normal stuck out. It was not a New Normal event, because Kilian got so much attention, it turned for me into a New Normal event.
I think it shows the power, this word of authenticity, it shows that power, because would anybody say that Kilian is a marketer? I don't think so. Would everybody say that Kilian understands the power of marketing? Yes. He doesn't come across as a salesy marketing dude who's like, yay, buy my stuff. Just by being so real, so authentic, and obviously wildly talented, clearly, I don't want to be cruel, but if he's coming last, this is not happening. He's coming first and doing amazing things. And you're right, Marcus, it felt like a new normal event, him crushing. I saw the funniest thing. Someone did a meme video of Kilian winning his something like 28 Zegema at the age of 65. It showed they created him with gray hair as a meme. It was like, here in the year 2052, Kilian wins his 28 Zegema at the age of 62. And it was like, I turned it on. I was like, "What? Kilian looks great." I'm like, "Oh, it's a spoof. It makes fun." But hey, would you bet against Kilian winning at 60? I mean, I don't know if I'd put my money on, but yeah, his power as an athlete and his power as a marketing brand is amazing to see.
And if you made it as a meme, they say you made it in life. So that's all we need to know right now.
That is true. I think. Kilian has made it in life, but I don't get the feeling he's going out and buying Ferraris, big houses, and Rolexes. He's going to live in Norway, him and Emily Forsberg with their 2 kids. I mean, let's face it, he lives next to John Albon and Peter Engdahl, and the 3 of them train in the hills. I mean, Jesus, it doesn't get any better than that, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Eugene, quick question for you. Do you see any Southeast Asian athlete with also business acumen that is trying to leverage the brand for their own products? Have you seen anything like this in Malaysia or across Southeast Asia?
No, not really. I can't think of one at the moment when the question is popped.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm curious to see what's going to happen there. If in the next 5-10 years we see more athletes become more popular, more famous, and starting their own brands as well.
The one that I can think of is you.
Thank you. I mean, I like to believe I'm a good runner, but also I'm not as famous as Kilian. And I'm a more traditional businessman, I think, than an influencer. I'm doing a bit of a different route there, building something more long-term and sustainable rather than hype-driven, because I think many of the influencer things are hype. And then, there's a certain risk you're taking for inventory and sales, and then it drops off again. But yeah, in general, I think I'm the closest probably to that.
I've seen athletes being brought up and also being put very much involved with the brand. For example, in Korea with Jisoo Kim. If you speak about North Face in Korea, it's going to be Jisoo Kim. Or if you say Jisoo Kim, it's going to be the North Face, for example.
I'm going to say, Marcus, let's do a show on this. I think it's really important. like
yeah,
Stingray,
yeah,
Sunmaya, all of the great Sherpa, all of the great athletes, right? How Ha,
yep,
they, do they need an agent? They've got Ryan, and Ryan. Look, let's be clear. If you followed Sunmaya at all, her
yep,
Instagram has changed. Like her Instagram has changed. Like it's changed. Like she's trying, right? Is she the one? I have no idea, but I don't think the athletes have got it yet, and it's a careful path to tread, right? But I don't
yep,
think. I think
yep,
Eugene's right. I don't think any Asian athletes really figured it out yet, and somebody will, right? Clearly, there's talented athletes. They're coming top 10 in the races. Sunmaya, Haoha, Stingray from Korea, from China, and let's do a show to think about this because it's really important. Like I really think it is. I think they need to figure it out, and maybe they are, and maybe we haven't noticed it. I don't know, but hey, if we haven't noticed it, they haven't
you,
figured it out.
you, guys, while I'm growing up, I see a lot of national athletes. In the good days, they are celebrated, and then when they retire, they are forgotten. So in some of my conversation with some of the elites around the region, I did shared with them. I told them, I say, look here, guys, while you guys are at it at this moment, you guys have got to look into your future after running, and you have got to start building it now. And this is the message that the elites or the aggressive runner needs to get. And I believe the total process of trail running will then be really beautiful for them, and they will never be they will not have a sense of regret, in the future for doing trail running. Yeah. Because it's not trail running, it's the choice that an individual makes towards the future. That is the difference.
For sure. For
So I
sure.
applaud that. Let's do a show on that.
No, I think there are a few ideas floating around. I have a few also on my mind. I mean, I come from my background actually is in incubation of startup ideas, incubation of talent. That's what I've been doing some time ago. I think there is, it's all about matchmaking. It's all about how do you create the magic for different stakeholders. Like Kilian clearly has good business partners. So how do you make this work? And I think we as a business focused trail running show, I think we would like to bring the business aspect to the sport world, and let's see who we can matchmake ourselves with, basically, right? But for another show, for another time, we're running out of time, so we just have to, of course, cover quickly, Ned. We have to cover your Laz, who is doing the last con,
So
and
let's get into it. Lazarus, like everyone knows, I adore Lazarus. He is attempting to walk across America. He's calling it his last great trek. He doesn't believe he has it in him again at 70 plus. He's just, I think he's 70 something or 71. He has until Bigs to get back, right? He needs to be back in time for Bigs because it's just kind of how it is. He is hoping to do 22 miles a day, and he's averaging 18, 19. Every day on Facebook, he writes a long kind of poem form. And the reality is this, he doesn't look like he could make it. It's just, if anybody is in America right now, as of Thursday, he doesn't have support crew. He's been relying on volunteers to support him. As of this Thursday, he doesn't have support crew. He's just crossed Illinois. He believes if he changes from, I think, San Fran to LA, he has a small chance of making it. He was meant to go to San Fran. He's going to drop the route down to LA, but he needs support crew. I'm actually in New York, but I don't think I can fly out. So if anybody is listening to this, I know this is not coming out till Thursday, Friday, but he needs some support. He wrote, if all that happens is I walk 2,000 miles and that's it, that's not so bad, right? So let's see. But that's Laz. He is moving on, walking forward. And if you're in America, check him out because he needs someone to help him over the next couple of 1,000 miles. Even if you can just help for one day, do it.
And if I may add, guys, there's actually a monk from Korea. His name is Gino, Monk Gino. He's well known. He's actually running from the north to the south of America at this moment as well. He actually did it halfway in 2020 before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hits, so he stopped, and then now he's redoing it again.
nice.
All for the
Great.
cause of charity.
Wonderful. So many things happening, so many crossings, crossing America, crossing Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia. All right, we're coming to the end of the show. A lot of great news been shared. Of course, we got to wrap it all up and hand over to Ned. And also, I think always is a good moment to reflect a bit and come down. I always enjoy those last few minutes of the show when Ned takes over and we can, become ourselves and be present with ourselves. Right, Ned, over to you.
Think about it in this way. Eugene just mentioned the monk who's walking across America or running. I talked about Laz. I listened to a podcast about a man called Tom Turek, who spent 7 years walking around the world. So Tom spent 7 years. It was a beautiful podcast by a soul. He just talked beautifully. And he didn't talk about himself. He just talked about what it meant. So this week's drop is about that. Markus, if we can link it in the show notes, that would be amazing. Okay, let's do it. This drop's called 10 People. 10 people. Only 10 people have walked around the world. Crazy, right? To walk around the world. One guy, Tom Turek, did it in 7 years with his dog, Savannah. He planned it for 8 years. He started without a dog. It's the only dog who has walked around the world. But would you? Could you? What does it mean to walk around the world? The time, the distance, the brevity of life. Because you can't do it next time. Because, well, you know why. Run down the street. Run a 5K. Run 10K. Half. Marathon. 50. 100. 200. F it. Let's walk around the world. You get it, right? It doesn't matter. It's not the distance. It's the thought to do it against logic, to be wildly human, to strike out, do what you haven't done, run where you haven't been. Don't take a map. Don't make a plan. Or do. Who cares? Just go. And don't stay safe. That's the wrong path. Without thinking, just go. You might find a dog. You might run around the world. Or you might get to the end of your street and be blown away by how amazing it is right there. See you out there, Ned.
Thank you, Ned. Taking a bit breathe.
Thank you, Ned. It was a beautiful one. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And look, in my deep soul, I know I can't walk around the world because I don't have 7 years and it's selfish. I can't just take off for 7 years. But the idea of crossings or adventure runs, the little ones I do in Singapore, I hope to walk the length of the UK one day. But I think it's part of all of us. Eugene, as you beautifully always say, it's about the community. It's about getting out there. It's about being in the jungle. But it's also about getting to the end of your street. Like it is. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it is not about the distance and everything and just about doing some stuff. So yeah, get out there, people.
Yeah.
Pick up some
Just
adventures.
Just go into the unknown. Yeah. Just go into the unknown, Yeah.
Always the way.
Thank you, guys.
Those are the words of the
It
day.
was a good session.
Thanks, Eugene. Thanks, Ned. Great to have you all.
Thank you, Ned. Thank you, Markus. Have a good week
Congratulations
anyway.
again on working with UTMB.
And Eugene, well done again, man. We're super proud of you. Well done for everything you did.
Everyone, see you next week.
Thank you for
Thank you so much.